So what happens if you have assets in another country? So maybe you've come to the United States, maybe you immigrated here, maybe you live here, but you purchased assets somewhere else. You bought an investment property or a vacation home in Costa Rica, or maybe you've got an apartment in Paris or something like that. So what happens with those assets when you pass away? So traditional estate planning really takes place in the United States, in the specific state where you're a resident of. So for example, if I'm going to draft an estate plan for somebody here in Florida, I will probably reach out to an attorney if that person in New York, if that person has assets in New York, because I want to make sure that what I do here in Florida is actually legal and valid in the state of New York. I don't want to say that I can avoid giving this to your spouse because Florida law allows me to do that, but maybe New York law doesn't allow me to do that. And I've seen that happen in the reverse, where we received an estate plan for somebody in another state, and it wasn't valid in Florida, but it was valid in that person's state. And so that's kind of the same idea with when you've got maybe a business that's incorporated overseas. Maybe, again, you've got a house or bank account, something overseas that's not here in the United States. Now, what we can do is we can maybe draft some documents that address those things, but we're always going to want to get a professional, an attorney, a CPA, an advisor, somebody in that country to assist with that. Because again, the laws are likely going to be different. They're certainly different from state to state here in the United States, but they're probably going to be different from country to country. And so we want to make sure that whatever we're doing here can actually be done and implemented in that other country. So again, if you've got assets in England, but you live in Florida, then we want to make sure we consult with a professional in England so that when we are drafting an estate plan, what we're doing is actually going to be able to happen when you pass away, and those assets that you have in England will pass, however you wanted them to pass.